Once again in the lion's den, we about to touch more topics that's still plaguing the nation. More new things coming. The recent one that done happened down in Baton Rouge is still continuing, but now a brother done took things into his own hands, and now it's another topic that we must cover. What you're thinking on this latest thing that done happened?
Well, brother, in our last discussion, I adamantly spoke about Moorish Samaritans being trendy.
Yeah.
And basically what I mean by that is you make a jean that costs $500 a week as Moorish Samaritans, we're going to go purchase those jeans and we're going to buy them in every color.
Yeah.
We're going to buy the Crystal, we're going to buy the Ace of Spades, we're going to buy the True Religions and the Rock Revivals and the Deceptives and the Louis and the Titans. You know what I'm saying? And the Gucci.
Mm-hmm.
That's us as the people. So if we say, okay, we killing police now, and it become trendy, that's what young African American, Moorish American men are going to do. They're going to start killing police because it's going to be fashionable. It's going to be the thing to do. And you hear a lot of rappers speaking on that in their music and telling young people to go out there and take arms and kill the police. Now, Brother Umar Johnson, I heard him on the Breakfast Club today. The brother had a very valid point. He said, if we start killing police, well, if they control the guns and they control the ammunition, and we go out there and we start killing them, they got an unlimited supply of ammunition. We only got a minimal supply of ammunition. So after we kill about 6 or 7 of them, then they're going to kill the millions of us that might participate in such a revolt. So that's not a beautiful idea. But the brother Umar Johnson and brother Killer Mike and Tariq Nasheed, these brothers been echoing, saying the same thing that I was saying. We have to do it economically. We have to control them and beat them with an economic plan. We have to boycott them. We have to stop going to their businesses, and we got to hurt them where it really hurts, in their pockets. And then we'll begin to see these folks jump in pockets so quick you wouldn't even believe how you could just snap your finger and they say yes sir, no sir, yes sir, no sir.
Now, wouldn't you say it's a combination too of being, spiritually aware too? Because it's like a spiritual warfare too. I mean, along with.
Well, I don't think that we're going to incorporate something that's profound or something that's extensive as spirituality into the plight of where we're going at right now, because the things that are happening are carnal things. When you kill somebody, that's a carnal act. You know what I'm saying? You kill somebody, that's a cardinal sin.
Yeah.
That's a physical thing. So we got to deal with it in the physical first. You know what I'm saying? We have to, be physical. That's what we saw when we were in slavery. We saw what they call Negro spirituals. We shall overcome, all this and this, that, that. We don't need no more spirituals. We need some physical action. We need act, ACT. We need to act so we can really get some things done and we can really see some results. Because as long as we, pray about it, as long as we go and we try to, ask God to do it, God's going to do what he needs to do, but God needs us to do what we need to do. God ain't going to give you a Cadillac. He's going to bless you with the ability to go out there and get a Cadillac, but you got to go and you got to get the job and you got to work the job. And you got to do the things necessary in order to acquire the Cadillac. See, that's the difference.
Yeah.
That's the difference on real religion versus, this thing that people, assume. People, they hope for. It's not about hope. It's not a hope thing. It's an action thing. Faith without action is what? Faith without works is what? Meaningless. This is what the Bible says. You can have faith all you want, but you got to go out there and you got to act. Now spirituality would be nice because we're going to need the spiritual in the lateral part of the movement where, we pray for each other and we pray that we physically can do the things that we need to do, but we can't start off with the old Negro hymns and the old spirituals. We got to come out with some intellectual information that's going to let us do what we need to do physically.
Yeah, but so much what I'm trying to say is not so much like spiritual like back in the olden times where they all praying and all that. I'm talking more like.
Oh, you talking about karma? You talking about karma and all that?
Like being in a good mental space, like if your mental is not in order, you ain't gonna achieve anything because you
Oh yeah, but that's a part of what you're saying. Yes, we do need the mental and the spiritual from that perspective. We need to be spiritually connected. We need to be on the same wavelength.
Yeah.
Yes, I agree with that. Yes.
Yeah. So far as it's going, it seems like it ain't stopping. It's like every other week is some tidbit or something else to add to the equation. Well, okay, this done happen. Okay, we're gonna take the focus off on common people getting shot down in the street by people that's supposed to uphold the law versus
Let me give your listeners a brief history.
Okay.
Back in the early 50s, you had Thurgood Marshall. What Thurgood Marshall did was he brought about a case called Brown versus the Board of Education, which deals with segregation. And he passed that law, and the Supreme Court finally heard what he had to say. And eventually, you had the end of segregation. And then, you had the Moorish Science Temple, which after that you had the Nation of Islam, and then you had the Black Panther Movement, Student Non-Violence Committee, and so on and so forth. Now, out of this, in this history, what you was beginning to see is you begin to see different movements that came out.
Yeah.
Now with Martin Luther King, they were more like a civil rights movement, and they deal with the civil rights. You had the NAACP who deal with the civil rights. You had other movements that deal with civil rights. But Malcolm, after he left the Nation of Islam, and Brother Marcus Garvey and Noble Drew Ali, they was dealing with human rights, humanity. So there's a difference between civil rights and human rights. Civil rights deal with the civility of the people, so which means that if you have a civil problem, you can go to civil court, you can fight out in court, and whatever. But human rights deal with the entire human family.
Yeah.
That's why when Malcolm X said we need to take it to the United Nations, and we need to take this before the nation court, then that's when he was murdered. When Dr. Martin Luther King said that the Ben Khan ain't never done nothing to me, and that he don't see the legitimacy in the war. And he was talking about that, we need to be treated as human, and I'm beginning to, question my stance on civil rights.
Yeah.
Ultimately was killed. So what people need to understand is that if we keep fighting the same old fight, if we keep doing what we always done, we're going to get what we always got.
Mm-hmm.
So it ain't about civil rights, it's about human rights. The Honorable Noble Drew Ali said that we are Moorish America, but that means that connects us to the continent of Africa and the country of Morocco. So we are Moroccan Americans, which if something happened to us, we should be able to go to the Moroccan consulate or to the Moroccan embassy and state our claim and say our human rights are being violated.
Yeah.
But they don't tell us that because, like Brother Umar Johnson said, the so-called Negro in America is the only individual on the continent of the United States.
Yeah.
America. We the only people that can't be deported. The Chinese can go to China. The Japanese can go to Japan. The Irish can go to Ireland. The Russians can go to Russia.
Yeah.
But where would the so-called black man go? Because we were the only people who were stripped of our language, our culture, our freedom, our names. And Brother Umar Johnson was right. But one thing that I want to tell Brother Umar Johnson was the Honorable Noble Drew Ali in 1913 AD did say that if we proclaim our nationality and proclaim ourselves as Moorish Americans, and say that we have descendants from the ancient Moabites who inhabit the northwest and southwest shores of Africa, but if we proclaim those people, then the government would have to recognize us, and we'd become hyphenated Americans, just like all the other Indian Americans and so on and so forth. It's a shame, my brother, that a German Shepherd, a French Poodle, and an Irish fella got somewhere to go. The Irish fella would go to Ireland, and the German Shepherd would go to Germany, the French Poodle would go to French, but the black man, until he proclaims his nationality, has no national homeland.
Yeah.
And we got to understand that. We got to understand that not only are we Moorish Americans, but the Moorish Americans were the fathers of mathematics. They were the fathers of astronomy. They were the father of a lot of things. They were connected directly to the Egyptian people who were the ones who built the pyramids. We have a rich history that we refuse to acknowledge, and because we are being taught, to think as inferior individuals, and because the education system teaches us to be inferior, because we're not represented properly in the education system, we do not study our history.
Yeah,
so
they got us studying his story, not our history, their history.
Yeah, it's his story. You know what I'm saying? It's not our story, it's his story. So we got to understand, and studying our history, that, you know what I'm saying, in order to know what was, to know what is, you must first know what was. You know what I'm saying? And once you know what was, then you can say what is, and then therefore when somebody comes to you and they try to tell you a lie, you can refute that lie, and you can beat that lie down because you know that it has nothing to do with the greater existence of who you really are. You know what I'm saying? So, we don't want civil rights, we want human rights.
Yeah.
And human rights is the most important rights that you can have, because that way, if America violated us and we had an embassy or we had a consulate, we could take it before the United Courts, and the United Courts would get America for war crimes and crimes against humanity.